What's going on, everyone? So today we are diving into a Thrawn list, which I know a lot of you have been requesting for a very long time. So I'm finally able to go ahead and give you all a Thrawn, but not red, a Thrawn green list, because this has been a lot of fun. And well, most people are running Thrawn red. We're gonna do a little bit of a shake-up here, okay? Big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, and also I have a TCG player link in the description down below. But let's talk about Thrawn and, well, why we're running Thrawn green, as well as what cool things we hope to do with our good old friend Thrawn. So first question, green. Why do we go Thrawn green instead of Thrawn red? Thrawn red has like Ruthless Raider. It's got things like First Order Stormtrooper, which isn't that great. It's got the droid missile platform. There's a few things you get, and some of those when defeated abilities, especially Ruthless Raider, are quite good. But I found just being in command and having access to some specific cards has just been really, really strong overall. There are two cards which I really do like, specifically for Thrawn in command. The first one is Cobb Vanth. This one should be no surprise. Comes down as a 3/2. When defeated, you get to search top 10, grab a 2 cost or less, discard it, and then you get to go ahead and play them for free from your discard pile. We have a lot of 2-drops in this deck. We have a total of 14, so it's very unlikely for us to actually miss. And more specifically, we actually get to pick up a bunch of the when defeated synergies in our 2-drop slot. VAL is one of the best cards in this deck. We've got things like Onyx Squadron to heal, Inferno 4 to get a little bit of value. We've got Director Krennic just to maybe get to some later plays a little bit sooner. Apology Accepted is the other one. This is really useful, particularly with Cobb Vanth, as well as VAL. VAL being able to go ahead and control where the experience tokens go first before the 3 damage comes in is really impactful. Also, just getting 4 experience tokens to a unit is nasty stuff, guys. Nasty stuff. But then you also get the 2 from Apology Accepted. So because we get to double trigger Thrawn on VAL's ability, we get 6 total experience tokens to a unit. It is incredible. Along with Cobb Vanth and Apology Accepted, we've got things like Super Laser Attack, Overwhelming Barrage, Darth Vader, and Resupply as just really solid plays. Some other specific Thrawn things that we are running. We've got Chimera to maybe potentially trigger the VAL ability. We also get to go ahead and get the Fleet Interdictor, which is pretty nice as a Sentinel. Can go ahead and do some good work there. We have no glory only results to maybe take advantage of our opponents when defeated trigger. We've got Onyx Squadron Brute, Inferno 4 as just value pieces, as I said earlier. Director Krennic can help us ramp into a few of these things, and also just is a 2/2 shielded for turn 1. We have a few control elements like Merciless Contest and Power of the Dark Side. But overall, we're playing a little bit of like a mid-rangey soft control sort of list that in some cases can just one-shot you because Val comes down. It's kind of a fun list. Definitely hoping to get some wins here. The other question was, do I go Data Vault or Energy Conversion Lab? I went with Energy Conversion Lab because when you do get to ECL out things like Cobb Vanth, kill a unit, and then double claim, it can be absolutely devastating. We also have 1 copy of Rook, because it's Thrawn's assassin, okay? Just, we have to run a Rook. Also, he's good with ECL. Yeah, who knew? But with all that said, let's dive into some matches here and see if we could take some wins with our friend Thrawn green. All right, game 1 up against Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've got a pretty interesting hand here. I do like this. I think I'm going to resource the Inferno 4 and 1 of the Power of the Dark Sides, or maybe it's just the Fleet Interdictor and just curve out with Krennic, power, or no glory only results. I suppose that could be a viable option. The only thing that's tricky here is that my opponent is playing double vigilance, which can be a little bit risky. We're going to go ahead and claim initiative here, and I think we're just going to power the dark side away my opponent's Queel. I think that's going to be a pretty easy play to make. Perilous Position. Do I want to Perilous Position instead and keep the Power of the Dark Sides? You know what? I think I will. I think I'll just go Perilous Position on the Queel, make sure it can attack, and then I'm going to hope my opponent doesn't have anything to necessarily deal with my my Director Krennic. I'm going to use the combination of Perilous Position plus the attack to kill off Queel, and then they're going to go ahead and take initiative. We're going to pass. We've got a Super Laser Technician and an absolute massive amount of stuff in our hand, which is kind of fun. I think here we just ECL out. Ooh, they got Vigilance, huh? Okay. They're gonna make us discard. So they got a couple apology accepted, and they're gonna defeat our units. I think this matchup's pretty bad for us, to be honest. We will see. They're gonna attack our ECL. We're gonna claim initiative, and I think we're just gonna no glory, only results. Ooh, that might actually change. Yeah, I think what we want to do is deploy Thrawn this turn. So let's go ahead and just attack into the Yoda, get an extra resource. And then that's a Phantom 2, huh? Okay, let's go Director Krennic. And we'll see what my opponent has here. They obviously can go ahead and heal up. They got Trace Martez, huh? Okay. A little bit of a healing deck going on, I see. So I could finish off Yoda here, which I suppose I will do with Thrawn. No glory only results is really a card that I'd love to see here. They're going to draw a card. My opponent makes us draw a card. I think that was a mistake. Ooh. Accidental draw a card. I'm going to go ahead and pass, not use anything. I'm going to restart the rest of this contest. Technically, we shouldn't have Vader in hand. My opponent should have had the card. So I'm going to play like we don't have Vader in hand yet, because we would have drawn it next turn. So just something to think about. What are we going to do here is the question. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward. I think we're just going to go Vanquish, huh? Interesting. Let's go no glory only results. I mean, Vanquish is fine. Our opponent's playing like a controlling deck, right? They could go ahead and deploy Obi, but this is great because we're going to be able to attack. And then you do our abilities first and then grab a bunch of experience. They're going to be able to deal 3 to Thrawn here. And then they're going to be able to attack someone, maybe the base. But we're going to be able to knock out their Obi-Wan Kenobi. We'll see what they decide to do here. They can heal 1, deal 1, which puts Thrawn into a perilous position, I suppose. I think this matchup's pretty bad for us. I need the more controlling matchups. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky. We will attack just to get rid of the Obi-Wan Kenobi. But the Vanquish was not necessarily expected. We got a resupply here, which I will go ahead and resource. Don't really care for the resupply at this stage. Darth Vader is going to be pretty nice, though. We can't grab Val, which is arguably our best card in our deck. But we can grab some other stuff, so hopefully that's going to be pretty nice. We'll see what my opponent has here for 7 resources. They got a Queel. I suppose we'll just go ahead and, well, use the... Ooh, we're going to grab a Super Laser Technician, I suppose. Yep. And we'll hit the Queel. They've got a Silver Angel. Okay, so very much a healing deck from my opposing side of the battlefield. Cool, I suppose. Okay, Pike Sentinel going to be resourced here. The Rook being ECL potential is quite nice, to be honest. We're looking pretty good. I mean, our opponent resourced something. Maybe they're looking for like Nebula Ignition or something like that. I have no idea. We're just going to hit for 8. Oh, they're Hera. They got a Hera. All right. We'll just power the dark side away that one. And we will... I don't know. I guess I could play Rook because my opponent could play like Nebula Ignition and that doesn't even kill Rook because it has an upgrade. I don't know. I don't know what our opponent could have at this stage. I don't think the extra card would have mattered. I know I said I was going to play the Vader immediately, but I'd also have to manage every single other card I drew. I just can't remember which one I should probably have not drawn. So we're just gonna do it like this. Let's get in for 5 here. Let's get in for 2. Let's get in for 3. I suppose we could play the TIE ambush squadron. I was saving it, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'll just attack. I'll play No Glory. I'll play the Pike Sentinel, and pass. Don't resource anything. I mean, the game is over. I guess they could have Super Laser Blast out of aspect. Okay, they're passing. Yeah, that was going to be GG. I mean, Thrawn being a massive unit from that VAL was pretty sweet. I think that game was a little bit odd. Definitely a weird one for my opponent. Lots of healing going on. I was trying to decide if they were going to be more controlling or if they were going to be more of this like weird healing deck. They were kind of a little bit of both, and so I guess that's what we ended up with. Fun little game here at the start, though. Into our next matchup, and we've got an interesting one. We got ourselves up against Anakin here, and I do like my situation with the VAL turn one. Turn one VAL ends up being pretty good usually. Ooh, there's an apology accepted. That's kind of what we're looking for. I'm gonna get in for 2 here, and then I will play out that Super Laser Technician. I know they could heal 1. That's fine. Not like we are in an amazing spot here. I don't know what Anakin's really going to be playing, if they're playing the same stuff or if they got some new stuff. Looks like they got an X-Wing here, which is a decent card, but, well, I suppose we will find out how good, truly. Ooh, I can go Onyx Squadron Brute. I feel like the power of the dark side's pretty weak right now. Let's go with Onyx Squadron Brute. No ECL, because I think I'm going to go ahead and defeat my own Super Laser Technician to give 2 experience over to the Onyx Squadron Brute. And we'll just see what my opponent's got here. So let's go Super Laser Technician attack. And then we will attack in for 2 and just see what we're going to be doing here on the following turn. They've got a K2SO, huh? All right, we'll defeat that. Give 2 experience, trigger, pass, and then we could actually No Glory only results. Ooh, another Fleet Interdictor and a Darth Vader. I actually think I'll resource the Fleet Interdictor and sit on the Darth Vader for now. We have a lot of options. It's really close already. Like, the game feels like it's really, really getting close. But I think with a No Glory only result, oh, that's what they're going to do. Okay, heal 2 damage. Trigger, heal 2 damage. And then we will deploy Thrawn. And then now we can grab K2 to trigger the when defeated ability another 2 times. I'm surprised they went with this direction of killing their unit. Allowing us to heal 4. Heal 4 is really nice. Now, if they didn't do that, then we would have been able to knock out their unit slowly. So we'll see. Grand Admiral Thrawn with an open fire. That's fine. We're going to go No Glory only results. Make my opponent discard a card. And then make them discard a second card, which is going to be nasty. That is gross. That is nasty, guys. Get rid of the K2. Get rid of a bunch of stuff. Let's go ahead and attack in for 2, attack in for 4, pass. Overwhelming Barrage is pretty nice here as well. I mean, we have the Darth Vader and the Fleet Interdictor. Fleet Interdictor looks pretty good here. Let's go with a Thrawn attack in for 4. I'm really hoping, yep, Kanan was an excellent draw. Okay, we're going to grab a Pike Sentinel to grab a Sentinel. But Kanan was an excellent play because we get to get rid of it, and then we can attack into the Anakin, and then we will resolve our ability first, give 2 experience over to this guy, and then trigger this again and give 2 experience again to the Pike Sentinel, completely blocking the Anakin Skywalker, who can get rid of the Thrawn. Oh, I think they misclicked there. I mean, it could have still been horrible for them, right? Like, even if they hadn't done what they just did, they would have dealt 3 to Thrawn. They probably would have claimed initiative. We would have a 6-power unit, which we then would have Overwhelming Barrage to knock out the Restored Arc and Anakin. They had no cards in hand. I mean, that was kind of devastating. The K2 grab and discard 2 was disgusting, by the way. That was gross. So the reason why we're playing no glory only results, that was absolutely sweet. And Val, just every single time, Val just doing some massive work. Onyx Squadron Brute healing is 4. I mean, everything running like clockwork here, to be honest. Pretty good stuff. Into the next matchup, we've got lots of control decks coming in. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't like these positions. I think I'm actually going to resource the Overwhelming Barrage. I don't think my opponent's going to have a lot of units in double blue Iden. It's just not really going to be happening. We got another no glory, sure. I think we just go resupply into TIE Ambush, into Chimera, grab a bunch of TIE Fighter tokens, and hopefully that's going to be key to win us the game. I don't really know. They're going to power the dark side, sure. We're going to resupply. I mean, full-on control decks like this are really not what we want to be fighting against. Like, really just don't want to be fighting against full-on control decks. But that's okay. We have a lot of when defeateds here, which is going to be pretty nice. They're going to pass. We're going to play a TIE Ambush, create a TIE Fighter Squadron. If they kill the TIE Ambush, guess what? We get to create 2 more TIE Fighter tokens with Thrawn. If they don't kill it, then we get to go Chimera next turn. Trigger, which is going to be awesome. They're going to Vigilance. They're going to defeat. Great. They're going to mill us. We're going to trigger this again, create 2 more TIE Fighter tokens, get rid of all those merciless contests, which is great. Like, love to see that. We're going to claim initiative. We've got to power the dark side of our own, which I think we could just resource. I think the game is really not going to come down to that. Let's attack for 1. They've got a client, so let's attack for another 1. Let's attack for another 1. And another 1. Pass. They got 2 resources. What do they have? Could they put a top target down? Let's deploy Thrawn. I'm not sure what they could have for 2 resources, to be honest. Okay, they're going to go ahead and take initiative. Let's, for 7. I think we have to go ahead and no glory only results here, because we can't really afford my opponent just healing 5 off of every single one of these. Chimera, I think the Onyx Squadron Brute's probably pretty bad. Apology accepted can essentially double our damage off one of these TIE Fighters, which could be interesting. I don't know. I think we're still in a pretty perilous position here. I don't know why. That's in my normal vocabulary now, just because I guess we're playing with the perilous position card in general. But okay, they're going to go ahead and deploy out an Iden. Let's go ahead and get in for 4. Just make sure we can get in that Thrawn attack. And we'll see what my opponent does. They're going to attack in with Iden for 4. They're going to take down Huss. They're going to heal 1. Sure. Let's go Director Krennic. Let's go. Do I want to go Chimera? I think we just go Inferno 4. We'll put both these on bottom. Really don't want to see either one. Get in for 1. Get in for 1. Pass. Pike Sentinel, power the dark side. Not great cards, guys. These are not the cards we want to see. Rooks, Darth Vader's. Like, Darth Vader would be excellent here, but no Darth Vader for us. I mean, not what we want to see at all. I mean, the one little, damage triggers here and there is pretty nice. They're going to exhaust Pershing to draw a card. Let's go with an attack in. Whoops, I meant to hit the Inferno 4 attack, but that's fine. We're going to get in for 1, I suppose. They're coming up on Super Laser Blast resources, which is scary. Apology accepted is not a card I really want to have in my hand when we get to that stage of the game. They're going to go top target here. And what, they're going to take down or something? Yeah, it's going to be a nasty heal. Let's get in for 2. They're going to kill it, heal a bunch. Search your feelings. They're going with the massive heal upcoming. Sure. I mean, they're going to Super Laser Blast. I mean, it is what it is. Like, that's not surprising at all. Let's go Chimera. Use this. We're going to put this on bottom top. We're going to trigger this again. We got bottom top. And then we're going to pass. And Overwhelming Barrage, can that be a good one? I think so. Super Laser Blast. Wow. Oh, Snoke. Well, that's not at all what I had expected, to be honest. That's a little bit worrying. Let's go with a VAL here. Yeah, Snoke. I did not expect Snoke. I was expecting Super Laser Blast. That is probably game ending. I mean, it's not like we could have done much about that. Like, this is our deck. It's hard to beat like these Omega hard control decks. Right, let's go apology accepted. We'll give 2 experience to this unit. I will resolve myself first, grab that, trigger, grab that. And then we can go overwhelming barrage on our Chimera to make it an 11 powered attacker, which is kind of nice. And then we're going to be able to me first. Bottom. Now we're going to go... Wait, why did they heal? Yeah, okay. So now we get 6 damage in here, 4 damage in here, 1 damage here. That's going to be a 13 powered attack. I mean, that was pretty good. Attack for 13, pass. Got a fleet interdictor, no glory only results. Let's see if they have like a vanquish or something like that to help them. I don't know, we are getting real close here. Darth Vader's would be excellent, by the way. Those types of cards, right? Okay, Rivals Fall will trigger. Claim initiative. I mean, there's not anything else that we can do. They happen to have the Rivals Fall in their main deck. Draw an additional card. They're going to play the client. They're going to heal 1. Client is nasty, guys. It is nasty. Let's go no glory only results on the client. Make sure they can't go ahead and heal 5 right here. It's just too much to come back from, I think. Just healing 5 every single turn. I mean, they have Super Laser Blast in their deck. And to draw an extra card, sure, we're going to get in for 1. I mean, they got Avengers here. Like, the game feels pretty over. So they got Super Laser Blast. We're going to claim initiative. We don't have anything else to do. Fleet Interdictors are not good. Darth Vader is a good card. And I think we'll just go ahead and drop in the Darth Vader and see what happens. Let's go Darth Vader. Let's see. We grab, I guess, a Super Laser Technician. I'm not excited about that. There's an Annihilator. They're going to grab all of our Vaders. I mean, Annihilator is good. If we have no glory only results, that would be pretty good. But Annihilator is nasty. I think Annihilator is kind of weak in the double blue Vigilance deck. Like, in this matchup, it's good because we are like a kind of a gimmicky, let's do these combo things, and then we get wrecked by Power of the Dark Side or hard control lists, which get wrecked by like the vast majority of the meta. So, you know, I'm okay with being defeated by an Annihilator here. If they had no glory only results, it would be nasty for my opponent, and they would be very, very sad. But I mean, they win the game in 2 turns here. Like, you can't really do a whole lot about that, right? Get in for 2. Get in for 2. And we'll see what my opponent's got. Snoke, huh? Wow. Hard control decks, guys. Not really much gameplay here for us. GG. Sometimes, you know, you get the matchup, and that's the matchup that we really don't want to fight. Well, there were some chances there, but we just don't have the tools in our main deck to really deal with whatever our opponent's doing. There's a little bit there with like going wide a little bit, but then the Snoke just ruined everything. I was thinking that if they had the Super Laser Blast, but if they're running main deck Snokes, which usually, you know, a deck will run maybe 1 or 2 of them, but they had the Search Your Feelings, so they grabbed the Snoke, which makes sense. So definitely depends on the deck, but hey, sometimes you just get wrecked. You know, our next matchup, we got a matchup against Piet Blue, which I think is a pretty strong deck. We do have the Krennic start, which I do like. They got Prepare for Takeoff. We'll see if they grab 2 cards here or just the 1. It's pretty hard to miss in the deck, but grabbing 2 cards isn't always consistent. They did a draw 2, and they ended up getting Avenger and MC30, which is great stuff for them. We are going to be able to double play next turn with an Onyx Squadron Brute and an Inferno 4 with this Director Krennic, which is nice, right? Extra resource discount is going to be pretty good. Apology accepted. Okay, apology accepted could be pretty good. Let's go Inferno 4 here. We've got only glory. Okay, I like that. Power of the Dark Side can go to the bottom. They have a Pike Sentinel, do they? No ramp, but a Pike Sentinel. They're going to prevent 2 damage here. Looking for a VAL. VAL would be awesome. I'm always looking for a VAL, though. They're gonna take initiative. We're gonna pass. We got a Fleet Interdictor. That's not gonna really do a whole lot. I could apology accepted, but our hand ended up being pretty mediocre at the current state of everything going on. I mean, oh man, this is horrible, actually. Let's get in for 2. And let's start pumping up this Krennic here. I think that's going to be the play. I do not like our spot at all. The fact that we have no plays this turn is really going to be brutal. If we had some sort of ramp or we had some additional play to make, like a Cobb Vanth, for example, that would be insane. We go Cobb Vanth, apology accepted, buff up a unit, and we just go to town. Really, we just go to absolute town here. But with our current situation, it is not going to be that way. We're going to defeat that, give 2 experience over here. We got a VAL. We'll put that on top. We'll trigger. We got an Onyx Squadron Brute. We'll go VAL on top, bottom the Onyx Squadron Brute. We'll get in for 4 here. We'll pass. Merciless Contest. I mean, that can be decent, but I think in this stage, we don't care about that. We need to draw something a little bit better. And I know it could trigger our VAL here, but I don't know if that's really going to be good enough, right? Like, I just don't think that's going to be good enough. I think we're going to need the VAL on our Thrawn, and then I think later on we're going to be able to maybe outvalue them and hope they don't just draw absurd cards. There's a Director Krennic. I mean, or there's a Overwhelming Barrage. I mean, that is just nasty, right? We'll pass. We'll deploy a VAL. I mean, there's not much else that we can do. Overwhelming Barrage is nasty in this stage. Apology accepted is pretty good also, though. Let's deploy Thrawn, and we will see what my opponent's got. I mean, if they have another Overwhelming Barrage, the game is over. Oh my gosh, no glory only results my own unit. That's so nasty. That is so disgusting. What a card. I mean, that was gross for my opponent. Real good stuff from them. I felt like that was our way to win, but nope. They just went in and did some, honestly, pretty disgusting things that I love to see. They've got an Avenger. We'll go with an Inferno 4, I suppose. Oh my gosh, it is so brutal. Let's pass. Chimera, Director Krennic. I mean, we can get down both this turn, which is not bad. My opponent's got a lot of cards in hand. That no glory only results. If we had gotten the apology accepted off, that would have been 6 experience tokens on our Thrawn. We probably would have been winning the game at this point. They're going to be able to get some value going. Let's put that on bottom. Val on top. I guess we'll trigger the ability again. There's a Chimera. Let's put that on top, actually. We're going to go Krennic. And we're going to go ECL Chimera. Actually, I think we just play Chimera and then pass. And we will not resource anything. Overwhelming Barrage, huh? Overwhelming Barrage is real good, too. Ooh. This game is rough, guys. So rough. We got to go Val and hope they don't have no glory. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good for us, actually. Let's go ECL Chimera. Get 2 experience on the Krennic. Trigger the ambush. We don't get 4 experience here, unfortunately. But if they don't have anything big to play, I mean, they can still play a 7-drop capital ship, which is nuts, right? But I mean, we're not looking that bad. I mean, we got a lot of power here. Let's claim initiative. There's a Vader. Do I resource the Vader? I think I have to. Let's go Overwhelming Barrage, knock out this unit, deal a couple to this. They got a Vader. I assume they don't ambush. I feel like ambushing would be really bad for them. But Vader's not scary compared to what could have been. Ooh. All right, we're going to get in for 6 here. They can finish it off with Piet. They're going to prepare for takeoff, huh? I mean, we will go ahead and attack into the Vader. We'll do our abilities first. 2 experience here. Up to another 2 experience on the TIE Fighter. And that's lethal. Of course, they can defeat one of these TIE Fighter tokens to prevent lethal. Oh, that's GG. Oh, right. We ended up getting there. Our opponent misused the VAL trigger, I suppose, but wow, that was really close. I felt like we were going to just lose the game. I felt like we were just so behind. That no glory only results yoinking our VALs when defeated trigger was disgusting. And that really made me feel like we were going to lose. I have to look back at the game and see exactly what happened, but I wonder if my opponent could have just gone all in. I don't know. If they're not playing Devastators or stuff, they went through half their deck. Maybe they just got unlucky, didn't grab like a Devastator. But they are playing Vaders, which I don't even play Vaders. They could have played like Annihilators. They could have played Vaders. They could have had more Avengers, of course. And they had multiple prepare for takeoffs, and they missed on each one of them. I don't know. Good game though. Into our next game, we got ourselves another match up against Obi-Wan. I don't know what's with all the Obi-Wans today, but I'll take it. Not a bad hand, but I think we could do a little bit better. This is a significantly better hand, like insanely good. Yeah, it is just gross, honestly, how good this hand truly is. Let's go Director Krennic here. And then we can drop in a lot of different options. Ooh, apology accepted. That is exactly what I wanted to see. That's so good. It's so good, guys. We get to go Cobb Vanth, defeat our own Cobb Vanth this turn with Director Krennic out, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Get the 2 experience tokens as well. Let's go Cobb Vanth here. And then I could have ECL'd it out, to be honest, and killed off the Ryloth militia, but I think this is totally fine with the direction we're going to go. Let's go apology accepted, defeat the Cobb Vanth, give 2 experience over to this guy. We're going to grab a VAL. Ooh, trigger. We've got a Pike Sentinel. Fantastic. I'll take it. We'll just grab all of those units. We're going to go ahead and play out the VAL, play out the Pike Sentinel, attack in. I suppose we'll kill off the Ryloth militia now, and then we'll pass. And we are looking pretty good in this spot. I think I'll resource the no glory only results because we're going to be able to deploy VAL and resupply. And it might seem odd, but we will destroy one, which means we can double claim her bounty here, which looks excellent, right? They're going to go ahead and take down, which is fine. We're going to go ahead and attack him with VAL. And I suppose I won't be able to do the VAL plus this anymore. So I think I'll just go with the resupply. Get in for 2, resupply Chimera on the VAL next turn. Ooh, Cobb Vanth is a pretty nice draw as well. I can ECL out Chimera. I suppose we will. Give 2 experience tokens, 2 more experience tokens to the Pike Sentinel, ambush the Concord Dawn Interceptors, and that clears out a lot of options for my opponent. They'd have to have something pretty good to get around what we got going on here. And of course, if they deploy a unit that Val dies to, we can flip Thrawn and then double claim Val's bounty again on Thrawn. And that would look insane. Like, absolutely disgusting. ECL Pike Sentinel, huh? Okay. I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. Let's get in for 2. Let's deploy Thrawn. Let's get in for 4. Let's pass. Get ourselves a Rook, which I think I'll resource at this stage. It's usually good, but we have no more ECL. I'd rather just hold on to some of my cheaper plays. Okay, they take down. Sure. Doesn't really matter. Let's go in for 2 with Val. I mean, they're trying to set up for something here, but we're going to play Val. We're going to defeat a Val. We're going to resolve abilities. We're going to give 2 experience over to this guy, Trigger, and then we're going to give another 2 experience over to the Chimera, which is going to get lethal in the air, and that's going to be the wrap up, right? That's going to be game. They can deal 3 to any unit they want. They can finish off Thrawn, but 2 resources. I don't think Heroism has anything to prevent this Chimera here. We're just going to get in for 9. GG. Val, guys. I mean, how many times did we use Val's abilities there? It was insane. That was a great draw, by the way. That apology accepted was insane. Absolutely insane. Into our next matchup, we got ourselves a Boba Fett on the opposing side of the battlefield. Very common deck. We've seen a lot of duplicates today. You know, it just happens. It happens. Is this an okay hand? It's okay. I think we could do a little bit better. We have a lot of turn 1 plays. Ooh, this I do like a lot better. I'm going to resource the Rook. It's good in other matchups, but usually Boba Fett's playing like 0 ground units. So having a Rook ECL potential is... That's fitting. That's extremely fitting. Okay, let's get rid of this merciless contest. Why don't we? I should have said nothing. Okay, I should have said nothing. Let's deal to our Onyx Squadron Brute. They can go ahead and deal deal another one with the Boba Fett. That's fine. I'll take 1 on the ECL. Let's go ahead and ECL out Cobb Vanth here. Trigger, attack. We got a Val. And then what else did we get? Director Krennic. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing hits. It's exactly what I was looking for. Cobb Vanth is pretty good here, though. P-38 coming in, finishing off the Onyx Squadron Brute. I suppose that would have been a reason to only take 1 on the Onyx Squadron Brute. And to think back, I probably should have done that instead. Kind of fun with the no glory only results. We're going to be able to go ahead and yoink that P-38 potentially and do some nonsense where we can deal 2 to something or 2 as we choose, which is kind of good, you know? Director Krennic really paying off here because we're going to be able to go resupply and Inferno 4 on this turn should the Director Krennic survive. Gonna get Thrawn down next turn into Darth Vader potentially. I'd love to draw an overwhelming barrage here. That would be the play. Ooh, Ambush Squadron looks pretty good. Let's put that on the top and bottom the resupply. There's a Fett's Fire Spray. We will take 2 indirect damage to our Val. Again, this deck usually not as great against us because we can go ahead and defeat our own units. I kind of want Val to pass away here. Go ahead and get in, resupply, pass, resource this Pike Sentinel. Do not care about that. Let's see what my opponent decides to do. If they attack with the Fett's Fire Spray, we get to defeat our Val, which could defeat our Inferno 4, which could be bad for us. But I suppose we will find out, huh? They're going to attack in. Interesting. I think in this case, I'll just make sure I take as little amount of damage as possible then. kill off the Fett's Fire Spray, and then my opponent's probably going to trigger Boba Fett this turn, and if they do, we're still going to be able to kill off Val. So I think that's going to be pretty worthwhile. And we can still use the Inferno 4 to trade with the P-38 and then double trigger Thrawn's ability there. There's the IG-2000 like we had expected. Now they're going to be able to... Oh, they're not going to even bother with Val, which I think is reasonable. They're not going to be able to use the Boba Fett ability, though. And again, like, sure, they ended up, you know, kind of not killing our Val, but we're going to be able to... Ooh, apology accepted is pretty good. Bottom that. Trigger. We got a super laser technician top, bottom. We will flip over the Thrawn. And the tricky part about this is, yes, they have preserved our inability, or rather, they have forced us to not be able to use Val. But, I mean, they do have to end the game. Not that they're, like, completely out of it, because if they have a Fett's Fire Spray here, they deploy Boba. That's immediately 12 damage coming in. Like, we are still under a lot of pressure. Again, Fett's Fire Spray is always a scary card, but we did prevent a lot of damage, which is really, really nice. Fleet Interdictor would have been a pretty good card. Same with the Chimera here. We would have been able to ECL out of Chimera, kill the IG-2000. Well, actually can't ECL it out, but we would have been able to at least be able to play the Chimera to do some pretty nice work here. Let's go ahead and attack in with Val here just to start us off. And we'll see what my opponent decides to do here. And then we all are going to apology accepted onto the Val. They're going to attack for 7, and then they're going to get in for a decent chunk afterwards. Apology accepted on Val. Give 2 experience, us first, 2 experience, trigger, boom, massive Thrawn coming in. And they're going to attack, and they're going to put us to 16. If they have a surprise strike, for example, that's going to be game. Let's go TIE ambush squadron. We'll create a TIE fighter tug and ambush, hit the IG, create another one. Not like that really matters. Really close game here. Really close game. If we drew that apology accepted 1 turn earlier, the game would have been completely over. Our opponent's really relying on a surprise strike here, or something to get immediate damage in, because they can't quite get there with the IG-2000. If they have the surprise strike, they probably would have ran it. So I think we won. I think we win. It's close, it's close, it's close. I guess No Good to Me Dead for it would have been a good one as well. It's a card I run in Boba Fett, so that's something we do have to be worried about. Planetary Bombardment, huh? Okay, so we will take 6, 8, 1, 1, and then 2, and then get in for the final win. Planetary Bombardment is close. It is close. If my opponent happened to have a Devastator instead of a Ruthless Raider, like that would have been game over. But really close, actually. Whew. Into our next game, we've got ourselves a Han Green, and I really like this hand. Fleet Interdictor going to be the resource. Same with the Pike Sentinel. We're just going to go with Krennic into Cobb Vanth here, into Apology Accepted, and that's going to be an insane curve out here. Our opponent could do some crazy things, like Dilapidated Ski Speeder into Biggs, which is obviously the combo, which you all saw in my previous video, or rather, you didn't see in my previous video because we never did it. But that was the goal anyway. Director Krennic does really well against that because it does become a 2 toughness unit, which means we just get some free value. So we'll see what my opponent's got on turn 1. Director Krennic is excellent. It is excellent. We're going to claim initiative here. They probably had the decision to go A-Wing or something else, and they're like, dang, man, how are we supposed to play the game when the opponent's got Director Krennic here? Let's go Cobb Vanth immediately, just so that we can make sure we can play Apology Accepted as well. Now, Apology Accepted isn't that great if we don't have another unit to get those experience tokens on, but Han Green isn't typically able to interact with our units all that much. Of course, we will have to find out here. They've got a red 3. Sure. That means we're going to go Apology Accepted, give 2 experience to Krennic. We're going to grab a Pike Sentinel, trigger Onyx Squadron Brute. Seems like a pretty good combination of cards. Let's get in for 4. And then we're going to go ahead and just play out Pike Sentinel and Onyx Squadron Brute. Pass. Perilous Position looking decent. I think that's probably going to be better than the Super Laser Technician. I think playing a little bit more of a controlling game does make sense here. Let's see what my opponent's going to do. They could ECL out something like a K2, which would be pretty good for them. K2 ECL would hit us for 2. We would have to kill the K2, hit us for 3. It would hit us up to 9. Then the red 3 would probably get an attack here, which is going to be pretty rough. Are they going to Poe Dameron here? Okay. Yeah, Poe Dameron coming in. That makes sense. Ooh, Poe Dameron onto the A-Wing. Well, that makes sense, but also ends up working in our favor. We're going to finish off that X-Wing as well. Yeah, let's finish off the X-Wing. Just get rid of that unit here. Then we're going to get in for some more damage here. The Soldier of the 501st. A little bit of a free unit. I like it. Very aggressive deck from my opponent. If we had something like a... Overwhelming Barrage, the game would feel completely over. Now, we don't have that, but we do have an ECL Chimera with the Krennic out on the board, which does heal us for 4, which is pretty nice. So maybe that'll get us somewhere. We'll see. Opponent's got 5 resources, which means they can drop a Poe Dameron here. Poe Dameron would be pretty good. Not amazing, but if they do discard, let's say 2 cards, they're going to be able to kill off our Onyx Squadron Brute and defeat the Shield Token, which means if we do go in for an attack with the Krennic, we trade, which isn't amazing. Oh. That is very surprising. Well, now we will absolutely kill off that red 3. Get in for 4 here. I mean, we healed a lot, and we are putting a lot of pressure on our opponent at this stage. I'm very surprised my opponent went on the kill your unit plan. Honestly, I'm very surprised at that. Let's claim initiative here. Overwhelming Barrage is really what we want to see. Okay, Inferno 4, Onyx Squadron Brute, not really. I think we go for the kill here. I think we attack for 5, attack for 4. If they get in all their damage into the base, it's going to be pretty brutal. But if we were to, like, let's say, hit Sabine's Masterpiece, suddenly they can finish off our base, or hit our base and finish off Chimera. Yes, we get 4 TIE Fighter tokens, but it's really not about, like, bodies in the battlefield. It's really about, oh, well, they conceded. I was going to say, it's really about actions taken. My opponent's got a lot of power, and they can rush us down, but we were going to just attack base, deploy Thrawn, win. They'd have to have something to ECL out. Now, they could have had, like, a Wrecker, for example, which would have been pretty bad. We had a lot of ways to stall. Like, if we attack with Chimera, they attack with a unit, let's say a red 5. Then we attack with Krennic, they attack with a unit. Then we play a unit, they attack. We play a unit, they attack. Then we pass when we don't have to put down Thrawn. But we could also just claim initiative, right? Because Krennic is lethal. So they'd have to deal with Krennic. So they could have to ECL out Wrecker to kill Krennic or something. There's a lot of different things that could have gone in this turn. But maybe they didn't even have Wrecker or Poe Dameron or whatever. But interesting game. That was fun. All right, my friends, Thrawn Green. What was the result? Guys, it was a blast, honestly. Doing the Apology Accepted on VAL and getting 6 experience tokens to one of your units is incredible. Cobb Vanth also grabbing Krennic, which is one of the best cards in our deck, and VAL, the best card in our deck, arguably. is incredible as well. Those two cards on their own make it worthwhile. I think we saw a few games there where like ECL Chimera or ECL Cobb or ECL Super Laser, ECL Rook, whatever it is, were useful. But there is also an argument for running Data Vault and, you know, just getting 9 extra HP on your base. I think in general, the Data Vault would be a little bit better. There are some matchups where the ECL out is really, really good. This deck does struggle definitely against those hard control lists. Not that we're like completely losing, but the whole game plan is kind of defeating our own units, which is really not good. Like, you don't want to be going all in on your leader or all in on a unit with a bunch of experience tokens against those hard control lists, right? That's something to consider. Now, we do have options, especially when we go to sideboarding. The other thing that we struggle a little bit against is definitely hyper aggro decks. We have a little bit of healing in like Onyx Squadron Brute, for example, but it's a little bit hard to, you know, do everything and generate enough value for us to actually close out the game quickly. Now, there are situations where we can, right? We go Director Krennic turn 1 into VAL plus VAL on turn 2. Like, we can go double VAL on turn 2, defeat our VAL, get 4 experience over to Krennic, attack for 6. Next turn, we like Apology Accepted, get 6 more experience token, attack for 12. Like, there are things that we can do, absolutely. That's the power of Thrawn. But it's a little bit of a gimmicky deck. I think I've had a little bit more success with Thrawn Green just because of Overwhelming Barrage, Cobb specifically, alongside Apology Accepted, but there's definitely merits to Tarkin Town Thrawn, or even like Thermal Oscillator Thrawn, or 30 HP base Thrawn. Just getting Ruthless Raiders down and going really aggressive with droid missile platforms, like that can really do some work as well, because Val puts on a big clock on your opponent, but then when you're hitting for 6 indirect damage and Tarkin Towning away your early game units for your opponent, that can also put on a big clock. So pros and cons to each one. I just think Thrawn Green's a little bit more fun too, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, and well, we had some fun, huh? Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.